Have you been preparing for the hurricane season? Yes, just like you, COVID-19 and other challenges have occupied our consciousness. But the key to surviving a natural disaster is ensuring that we do what we can to manage the effects of the system. Planning ahead is essential, and that preparation involves having food, water, and medicine on hand. Radios, batteries, flashlights, candles, and generators for power are also key. And if necessary, we must make arrangements to evacuate our homes and seek shelter elsewhere. Let's continue to do what we can to be COVID strong while we weather the hurricane season. Your Jamaica Magazine program continues right after this public service announcement. Stay with us.
You've asked for it, and now it's here. The Jamaica Information Service has updated its mobile app. It's easier to navigate, loads even faster than before, talking about top speed, operates seamlessly across platforms, and we're a creative bunch, so it's much easier on the eyes. Now you have quick and easy access to news stories, television and radio features, and a variety of photos right at your fingertips. And you'll get push notifications when new content is uploaded. Download the app on your Apple and Android devices now and get news you can use. Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica on the go.
Here's some timely information just for you.
On the advice of the security forces, I have recommended to the Governor General that a state of public emergency be declared in the Kingston Central and the Kingston Western Police Divisions. The Governor General has signed the proclamation giving effect to the state of public emergency in the areas recommended from this morning for 14 days. This will connect the states of public emergency existing in the Kingston East and St. Andrews South Police Divisions, creating an effective security corridor along the waterfront from Bull Bay in the east to Ferry in the west. The space now declared has seen increased criminal activity in the second quarter of this year. These areas, if left unchecked, have shown historically that they can spiral to chaotic ends, even having national disruptive impact. We are also observing that the gangs in these areas are not confining themselves to traditional geographical boundaries within community locations, operations, and affiliations. This presents the possibility of super gangs emerging through collaboration, and this creates a platform for the insemination of more nefarious and foreign criminal activity. We have also seen an increase in criminal activity in extortion, especially around the market districts and the South Coast Highway Improvement Project along the Harbourview through to Bull Bay route. At the launch of this project, I was clear that we will not allow criminals or politically connected persons to extort, hold up, or otherwise threaten the work in this area in any way. This is a national project, and the government will deal decisively with anyone who seeks to disrupt or otherwise interfere with the smooth operation of this road development project, which has been long anticipated and extremely beneficial to the people of Jamaica, particularly the people of St. Thomas.
To the west, the boundary extends from the coastline by the Petrojam Oil Refinery in a northeasterly direction onto East Avenue, then onto Maxfield Avenue to the intersection of Russell Road. The northern boundary extends along Russell Road in an easterly direction from the intersection of Maxfield Avenue and Russell Road to its intersection with Lindus Road and Retirement Road. The boundary then extends southeasterly along Lindus Road to its intersection with Slipe Road, and southerly along Slipe Road to the intersection of Torrington Road. The boundary continues easterly along Torrington Road to Heroes Circle and continues along the northern perimeter of Heroes Circle to its intersection with Marasca Road. The boundary then extends slightly north along Marasca Road, then easterly along Connolly Avenue, then onto Dames Drive to the intersection with South Kemp Road. The eastern boundary extends in a southerly direction along South Kemp Road, then onto Port Royal Street to the coast. The southern boundary extends westerly along the coastline of Kingston, then along the St. Andrew coastline to the starting point at the Petrojam oil refinery. The state of public emergency will give the security forces temporary additional powers of search, arrest, and detention, and we believe that this is necessary in order to give the security forces the necessary space to carry out the operational tasks that will be required to help to bring a sense of normalcy to the communities affected.
So despite a national decrease in murders and shootings, the high level of violence, particularly in Kingston Western and Kingston Central divisions, is at a scale and nature that greatly endangers public safety. A few days ago in West Kingston, one of the gang feuds resulted in criminals setting the Rere Market ablaze, depriving residents in and around the community of their livelihoods. The criminals also attacked police officers who sought to save lives as they intervened between the rival gangs. Violent crimes, that is murder and shootings, in Kingston and St. Andrew represent 42% of the national figure. These criminal acts are characteristic of long-standing and deadly inter- and intra-gang conflicts. And these have been occurring across a number of hotspots in these divisions. Today, there are currently about 48 gangs, 50% of which are actively engaged in violent conflicts in the division. Similarly, in neighboring Kingston Central Division, there are some 32 gangs actively engaged in violence and violent conflicts. These gangs have established networks across divisions to fortify their activities. And there are a number of persons wanted for murder and other violent crimes within these divisions. This year, there has been an increase in violent crimes in these two divisions. Within the last quarter, we have seen a spike as gang members and gang organizations seek to benefit from extortion or through extortion within the market district and have created alliances that extend from St. Andrew South all the way across to Kingston East. 74% of all murders in these divisions are attributed to gang activities. When we examine the broader picture, almost 6 months into 2020, we see signs of success in the implementation of our policing strategies. As at June the 12th, major crimes have declined by 14% overall. Robberies are down 13%, break-ins down 23%, rape is down 29%, and larceny is declined by 32%. Notwithstanding this, we are seeing a much more coordinated attempt by criminal enterprises across Kingston and St. Andrew to coordinate their activities and create a much more unified response to how they make their illegal gains from these commercial areas. So despite the 32 illegal guns that have been taken off the streets in these divisions, the violence continues. Specifically with respect to states of public emergency, we saw early in the year an increase in Kingston East. For the first month of the year, I think up in January, a sharp spike in homicides occurred. We implemented a state of emergency, and murders are down 64% in Kingston East, and shootings have declined by 70% in Kingston East since its imposition. In St. Catherine, murders are down 14% and shootings down 24%. In St. Andrew South, the gains have been marginal, where murders are down only 1%, but shootings are down 18% in that division. St. James, which has been running for the longest period, is recording the lowest number of murders and shootings that it has seen in 20 years, and the highest number of gun seizures, with them being doubling the next highest division in terms of the seizure. We've also seen reductions in murders in Westmoreland and Hanover of 48% and 57% respectively when compared with similar periods before the declaration. And shootings are down in both parishes by 40% and 66% respectively.
Gangs, guns, and guns have been named and understood to be the core of the criminal activity in Jamaica. The 4 divisions of St. Andrew South, Kingston Western, Kingston Central, and Eastern Kingston, has active in that area some 2/3 of the entire gangs in Jamaica. Intra-gang and inter-gang warfare and conflict is the basis of more than 80% of the homicides committed in Jamaica. We have noticed in this particular area, as indicated, increasing alliance between gangs across community and geographic boundaries and even political boundaries, which signals a level of cooperation between the gangs as they struggle over spoils, whether it is for extortion or imported weapons and other criminal activity that feed the economy of the gangs in these areas. It generates increasing homicides. And certainly for this year, we have seen that the number of homicides in the KMI region has in fact stand more than 55% of the total for the island. The level of activity in the two divisions named this morning, which joins the state of public emergency in the East Kingston Division and the St. Andrew South Division, has seen increased activity and demands urgent and active attention by security forces in a targeted manner. We are confident that the security forces will be able to remove from the area the kind of violence producers that are continuing to create serious pressure on the people of the corporate area, and in particular the communities involved in these two divisions.
The public generally can assist by contacting Crime Stop or the police directly with information, by complying with the requests of security officers at checkpoints, adhering to curfew guidelines and other guidelines, and certainly by notifying us, the JCF, of any breaches of professional conduct by members. I have to thank members of the public for the information that they've been giving us so far, and that has been significant in allowing us to resolve a number of crimes very rapidly. So thanks to all the members of the public who have been helping us. Ideally, we would have 2.8 million people helping us in some way to deal with this scourge of violence and crime. The JCF remains committed to respecting everyone, observing the rule of law, and for being that force for good.
As we continue to mourn the passing of former Labour and Social Security Minister Shahini Robinson, we bring you highlights of June 11 and 12 public viewing. Take a look.
It was a somber mood last Thursday, June 11 in St. Anne, as scores of residents and dignitaries turned up at the St. Anne's Bay Anglican Church Hall to pay their respects to the late Labour and Social Security Minister Shahini Robinson. Minister Robinson, who passed away on May 29, 2020, has been described as a dedicated member of Parliament and Cabinet Minister.
It is a great loss to the government of Jamaica, a great loss to the country, a great loss to the constituency. And for me personally, she was my friend and my sister, my little sister. And so it's very painful this morning to be here to say goodbye.
We know representation in excellence when we see it. And we're truly going to be missing our sister Shahini. She embraced all of us and she kept all of us together to be very proud of our parish. She understood the mantra and the culture of the parish. And I know she flew our flags so high, locally, nationally and internationally.
She has been a political icon in this area, and she has taken the level of representation to a level that is just been unprecedented. So much so that she has won 6 elections and she has never smelt or tasted defeat. The fact is that she has touched me in so many ways, and she has been an inspiration to me and a political mentor, being a minister.
My experience working with Mrs. Robinson is one of mentorship, guidance, love, and growth. In many ways, my political path was molded and guided by her. To say that I'm mourning is just a word that is being repeated by many persons, but I am still going to express how deeply saddened and hurt I am to lose my member of parliament.
She will be missed. Mrs. Robinson has always made it her mandatory point of duty to ensure that she's at all our functions. She offers support to our teams of education officers in relation to her schools that she supports in her constituency. Mrs. Robinson has contributed to the establishment of institutions, the upgrade of institutions.
Those in the northeastern St. Anne constituency that Mrs. Robinson served for almost 20 years says she is irreplaceable.
That Friday morning when I heard that Miss Rob has passed away, at the time I was at work and it really broke me down. You know, I have to leave work before time, even though I knew she was that ill. You understand? And then the death news wasn't surprising to me, but they have a saying that from there's life, there's hope. So I was still praying and hoping for the best.
It is very necessary for me to be here because to show my respect to our beloved Member of Parliament, not only Member of Parliament, but she was a Minister of Labour and she was a very hardworking and very dedicated woman. You know, she worked tirelessly. She's so fun. She's always there for you. She knows everybody by name. She knows everybody's house. So Miss Rob was such an amazing individual, and we will always love her.
Miss Rob was a very, very good MP to us. She was a people person. You would never see Miss Rob vex. She just know how to deal with us. Funerals, wedding, anniversary, everything she would be there. She was beautiful from the outside to the inside.
The mood on the second day of the viewing was no different from the day before, as many also came out to the St. John's Anglican Church Hall in the parish to pay their respects to the late minister.
This morning reminds me of just about a year ago when Shahini and I met in this very room as we paid our final respects to Mr. Siaga. And it just enforces just how short life is. The Bible says we sprout up, and in the twinkling of an eye, we are cut away and we are no more. It is truly a sad moment for us because she has gone far too soon.
We're going to miss her presence in cabinet, miss her presence in parliament, just miss the easy way with which she talks with you, you know? That kind of a person, you always felt at ease in her presence. You didn't have to wonder if, you know, when you approach her, what her demeanor would be. It was always the same, always welcoming.
From the recruiting and the involvement of Shahini, I knew she had the ability to be a marvelous representative and to be a humanitarian in every aspect of the work that she did. And I have the highest respect for the work that she did. I'm happy I shared part of that with her. When I drive on the concrete road coming through Fern Gully, we worked hard to ensure that that was put in place. We worked hard to ensure that the town would never be flooded again. Now I hope it's flooded with tears of joy for someone that was really brilliant in representational politics.
Shy was my name for her. And I felt her ire one evening She came to my house and gave me a long tracing, slammed my door, walked out, and then within 30 seconds she opened the door to let me know that although she cussed me, I can't stop her from coming to my yard. She was like that. You couldn't be upset with Shy Shy. I remember the last time I saw her because I told her, like my mother, I would not see her on her deathbed. So we spoke on the phone. I remember her coming into cabinet in that blue dress. And she asked me, you like it? And she paraded around in her blue dress. It's about 3 weeks before her passing. I refused to go and she knew, but we spoke on the phone. So Shy Shy, we love you. We will never forget you.
The next scheduled public viewing will be on Tuesday, June 16 at the Jamaica Labour Party headquarters on Belmont Road in Kingston. All are invited between the hours of 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. However, you are urged to practice social distancing and proper sanitization practices. Also, remember to wear your masks.
As we join the rest of the world in bringing awareness to elder abuse, we want to highlight what government has been doing to safeguard our senior citizens from COVID-19.
The late South African leader Nelson Mandela once said, "A society that does not value its older people denies its roots and endangers its future. Let us strive to enhance their capacity to support themselves for as long as possible, and when they cannot do so anymore, to care for them." It's a message with renewed significance in this COVID-19 fight. Adults 60 years and older are listed among the most vulnerable to be impacted severely by the novel coronavirus. Protecting them requires deliberate action. The Jamaican government, through the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development, has taken lead on this by providing access to medical care, food, and sanitation supplies.
All persons 75 years and older must stay at home. The established studies that have been done around it suggest that the susceptible group, the group that is most affected in a critical way, are our seniors, 65 years and above. They will be allowed to conduct the essentials of life, but under certain restrictions. This is not isolating them, locking them off. This is a little bit of social distancing, but it is not social isolation. All right? Still call them on the phone, go and look for them, carry food, make sure they're all right, keep engaging them. But remember that if you are young and healthy and you get the disease, the probability of you recovering is far greater than the probability of your grandparent or even your parent. And you may not even show symptoms. You may have a slight cold, as I say, and you recover, but you are transmitting. You are still carrying the disease, and you go and you hug up grandma, and poor grandma gets sick, and it was all because of you.
While government implements that policy to keep older adults at home, it is making sure their needs are not neglected. So the local government ministry has set up the Rona Helpline Senior Care Response Initiative. It is designed to aid senior citizens over the age of 70 years old who are in critical need. The ministry is executing the program through the Social Development Commission. The Rona Helpline Senior Care Response Initiative works by establishing contact points for senior citizens. Seniors may call in to the contact points requesting assistance to complete critical services they may need while being indoors. Concierge services being done on behalf of the seniors include filling prescriptions, grocery shopping, and transportation to health facilities for urgent care. The transportation and logistics costs for the critical supplies are free to the seniors. They pay for the cost of the groceries or medications, but not to have it delivered to their doorsteps. There are 16 contact point offices island-wide. The main one is headquartered at the local government ministry, while the other 15 locations are SDC parish offices. These contact points manage and coordinate the island-wide response to the elderly population. Seniors may call in to the contact points with their specific needs from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Officers and volunteers will screen calls to ensure the validity of the requests. The SDC's officers will then mobilize to fulfill the urgent needs of the seniors. In addition, if necessary and based on the assistance required, reliable individuals are dispatched to the home of the elderly person to provide the specific support requested. Beating COVID-19 by providing a senior care response is a priority for the Jamaican government. If you are a senior citizen and you are in need of such assistance, call the Rona helpline at 876-618-8218, 876-879-8948, or 876-879-8950. You may also call the SDC's parish office in your area. If you did not catch the number for your parish, the contact points numbers are listed on the social media pages of the local government ministry and the SDC.
To properly carry out a hand rub, apply a palmful of the product in your cupped hand, covering all surfaces. Rub your hands palm to palm. Rub your right palm over the back of your left hand with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Rub your hands palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Rub the back of your fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotationally rub backwards and forwards the clasped fingers of your right hand in your left palm and vice versa. Once your hands are dry, they are now safe.
And that's how we close out Jamaica Magazine for today. If you're just catching up with us on your television, not to worry. We are available 24/7, 365 online. Watch this and other programs on your website or YouTube channel. Information to make your interaction with government more seamless is available on our social media pages, and you can catch up on all the major happenings in Jamaica through our mobile app that's smartphone compatible. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson, thanking you for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.